All right.
Okay, we on live, and y'all excuse the way I got this up, but this conversation we're getting ready to have, and I couldn't figure out how to put it on Facebook, but we gonna get this together. Now, what I want, we on yours, but can I interview you?
We gonna interview you. What's up?
I want to interview you. You know I love to interview people.
We ain't gonna interview me.
You are the perfect person to interview right now. Perfect person. We're on Instagram right now. I'm recording on live on mine, so y'all excuse the way I have it. When I switched it up, it was right on the phone, but since my pad wasn't working, so y'all just look at the conversation, not how I got it set up. Okay, John, what I want to ask the question. The question I want to ask you right now is where you are right now. Okay, before this virus happened, what situation was you in before it happened, and then tell us where you are right now.
Before it all happened, I was living, well, man, I was working. I was out, doing my thing, DJing. I was in Dallas. Yeah, just on the move, like doing whatever I was doing. I was just real busy. I was moving around, always just moving. And connecting the dots and doing other things too, as far as working on music and doing some other things. But yeah, all the way up until now, I took a lot of things for granted. The freedom and everything just to go and move around. And then right when all of this stuff happened, I just came over here and came to Tulsa.
Yeah.
Just figure it out and try to see what's up, man. So I don't even know how long this is all going to happen. I don't know what's all going on right now.
Yeah. In a situation, how do you feel?
How do I feel? I feel good so far. It's just suspense of not knowing before what is about to happen. What is just not sure, like what's going to happen after this. When are we going to get? I know definitely we're not going to be back to where we was. I think there's going to be a completely different vibe and world once everything dies down and we get back into the swing of things. But it's just that kind of place of uncertainty right now. Just trying to figure out like what's the next move? How's everything going to look? Everything on the news and everything's talking about how the economy is going to crash and everything is going to be crazy, and just trying to figure out moving forward and not allowing all of this stuff to stress me out, and continually pray and just be grateful that my family's cool and everything. But just trying to look forward.
We had a conversation, and you was talking to me about when this is over with, some things you wish you would have done, and things that we took for granted. Yeah. If you could do this all over again, and we knew the virus was coming, what would you have done to prepare yourself for it? That's what I want.
Hey, well, first of all, everybody here, I want everybody that's on the live on there. I'm gonna introduce my mother. This is my mother, Mother Felicia Tennyson. But we was just kind of going back to a conversation that we was having on FaceTime, and we was just like, yo, let's get on live so we can get other people's perspectives and point of views and just kind of follow our kind of conversation. I don't usually, I've never done this. I've always, when I do live,
I need to say y'all, this is not going to be professional. It's going to be a little bit off, a little bit, but I need to go get my charger real quick. I am so sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
We're going to get real quick. Wish them in and kind of tell them what we're talking about. It's my other charger's over here. Tell them what we're talking about.
Man, we just trying to see what's up. We just all trying to see what we can do, what everybody doing, what everybody's vibe is. Y'all can see my mother. It's funny. What's up?
I'm back. I'm sorry.
You are professional. No,
I know, I am. But this here, I'm trying to kind of throw me off, trying to get this on Facebook too. And then I didn't think about my charger when we did it. So, hey, this is not professional or not. But welcome to people coming in. I'm interviewing Josh on his page right now because I couldn't get mine together.
Mom, you don't got to interview. This is how we're doing.
I love to say interview. I love to say interview right now.
What you want to do, we can do it.
I love to say interview because that's the only way I can talk.
Okay, gotcha.
That's my language of me and you just talking.
All right, I ain't gonna mess up your. All right, my bad. I ain't gonna mess up your.
You know, Josh. You know, you got your talent from me. Everybody's on here know that Josh got his talent from his mama.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay, you'll get a butt whoop. Okay. Anyway, we've been having some good conversations going, and I want you to just throw yourself out there and say,
okay.
What? I know people laughing. What are we? If you could change everything. Now you told me a lot of stuff. Now don't be shy at what you told me. Okay? You told me a lot of stuff that if you had a chance. Come on, Josh. Come on. Let's get real. You can't be faking right now. Let's get really real.
I said, all right. Well, I was saying this time I'm gonna take things a little bit more seriously now. As far as I think now this is how you talking about the part when I was talking about this is open my eyes now.
Yes.
Looking for a wife and all of that.
Yes.
All of that.
Come on, get real. Let's not have anything because we over here. It's not had nothing.
It has. I mean, this opened my eyes on why it's important, have a family and everything, and but no, I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of things different.
Yeah.
Definitely going to switch it and see what's up. I can't even talk right now because this is going. There you go. We got to warm it up before we get to this level.
Okay, we'll warm it up. What you want to do? We'll do some push-ups real fast. What you want to do? How we gonna get there?
Like I'm over here like nervous and everything. No.
Y'all, I go deep first.
No, for real. But real talk. Now I'm considering like, reevaluating my life and where all this time just sitting in the house and everything, it just kind of just making it where now I'm just kind of reevaluating and just kind of figuring out like what is my plan going forward. What was I doing before now and what I'm doing now. Yeah. But being quarantined and just being dolo and just being solo is really like changed the game for me now. I'm just like, all right, now I understand that, especially in these type of times, you do want to be around your family or you do want to be around people that you care about and all of that. But it is not the best thing to be like solo in these type of environments and this type of vibe, though.
So you mean solo means you're not married?
Single, mother.
You have a girlfriend?
No. Okay, what we gonna do this right now? See, that's how you can tell this is my mama. See, your mama's gonna call and see.
I'm just trying to juice it up a little bit because some people don't know what solo be.
Okay, so if I just come out the blue and just have, are you ready for grandbabies right now? You want me to have grandbabies and all that?
Yeah, we need grandbabies. We need you married first. Ain't no having no kids without getting married first. No, I'm not gonna push that.
What if I skip over there and just have kids?
No, we ain't having that. No. You gotta get married first. So you got 2 weeks to court somebody. You got 4 weeks to get married. Then go ahead and whatever you gotta do.
You should go ahead.
Oh. We ain't having that.
Find a wife for me. No, I'm good.
So if you can do it all over again, you would pretty much think you would have some significant other right now, or you would been prepared, or what?
I'm just talking because right now, just being in the midst of the situation, when you're in the situation, you're gonna constantly think of like all the things that what you would do or what you would not do. That's the kind of situation.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would change. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of hard out here. It ain't that easy. To maneuver through, through this climate, through everything else, and to find people and I think more importantly, just connecting with a tribe, like connecting with my tribe, connecting with just people in general, Because it's not only just a wife, it's just connecting. I think it's a good thing, and then reevaluate. This is a good reset to kind of go invertly into yourself.
Yeah.
And to figure out, like, okay, first of all the things that I took for granted up until this point, and then, like, okay, and then how much time did I waste up until this point? The people that I associated myself with, and and kind of evaluated everything and just kind of putting everything, compartmentalizing everything, and just being like, all right, now being in this type of confinement now is maybe kind of like, all right, now I don't want to waste no more time. I don't want to just associate myself with just people and just align myself with people just for the sake of having people around. I want to have meaningful relationships. So I mean, it could be girlfriend, it could be good friends, good people, and want to make sure that I'm kind of prioritizing my time to where now I'm not squandering that time when I could be applying that to my family, I could be applying that to people that it really matters. You know what I mean? Up to this point. So it's a kind of kind of a whole lot of things that's just rapidly going through the mind right now.
It was something you were talking about earlier about, I don't know who said it. I don't know if Keisha or someone said it, that maybe dating or building friendships could be better like this, because it could be, especially with dating, you really get to know the person first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is the time. If we going for another 2 or 3 months, and then you just going on the phone and just going back and forth. Right now, it's I feel like after this situation, after you get out of this situation, and then going through this and going back and forth, and if you get through this, I feel like you got you a good partner or whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. You're a person. You're a DJ, so you're around a lot of people all the time.
Yes, ma'am.
And you get your vibe and your feel from being a lot of people. So, how you feel right now when you can't do that? Because I know I'm a pastor at a church, and when there's a crowd that pushes up, I feel they vibe and it pushes me to pray or to preach or whatever I'm doing. So yours is similar to what my situation is. So when you don't have that crowd, how do you feel right now?
Man, I feel, I don't know, I just feel, because that was like a recharge.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm kind of introverted and, extroverted. So I'm kind of both. Some would say omnivert or whatever, however you want to put it. But so when I'm in this time where I'm introverted and I'm to myself, I like to, go, and when I DJ, that's just kind of energize my, extrovertness, you know what I mean, and that thing. So it's kind of that deprived. It's just kind of that balance where now it's kind of that imbalance right now. Where now I'm just getting a lot of this. Just staying in myself and just staying, just staying in my head. No, I miss it now. That's why I've been posting. I've been posting like, I've been taking DJing for granted. I've been taking it for granted. I was taking it, just doing it, and just the fact that I can do it every weekend and do all of that. And then when you get it taken away and you can't do that, now it's like it's getting real now, because that's what I love. That's what, one of my passions upon a lot of things. But now, when I get to DJ again, it's gonna be a whole different experience.
Whole different thing.
Just live it up.
Appreciation of
not taking the table, fly off.
Not taking for granted.
Decks and everything, you go crazy.
Now you already know, as soon as this is over with, everybody gonna run to the clubs. Women gonna be going to get their nails done, because we have a nail shortage thing right now. We got stuff going on right here with our pedicures. So when this is over with and the first club open up, what do you think that's gonna look like? I mean, that's gonna be pretty.
Man, first you gotta wait and see what places is gonna last all the way up until this.
Oh yeah,
Talking about until June, and they're talking about, some say until August. Like I think it's gonna be a whole different. It's gonna be a whole different look.
Yeah.
And a lot of places I don't think can sustain. There's even big corporations and big corporate places that's right now that's kind of like on their last leg. So I think it's going to make it where it's going to be a whole new look. So the places that were, that was open at one time, I don't think they're going to exist moving forward.
Yeah.
Maybe so. We don't know. And I think now more than ever, it does kind of put you in a space to where now you got to think of other arenas and really, I mean, take this time out. For me, I'll take this time out to really center and really focus on my brand and focus on other avenues in which I can do what I love and do it in my own space, and not just depending on the club, not depending on parties, not depending on the hire out. So I think everybody that's in the service industry right now, from barbers, DJs, bartenders, all these people that were doing it, I think this right here was kind of a eye-opener of what to do and how to move forward. You know what I mean? And how to that you got to have multiple streams. And even not only that, I think this is kind of it's a reset to now tap into the other gifts that you have inside you. Because now I'm like thinking about other things. Now I'm considering acting. I'm considering going into some other stuff, and I'm you know, learning other things, like taking the time out to really. Man, I was like, at the time when I was just chilling, I should have been dating. I should have been doing all types of things.
So you said all the stuff? Because you had everything on like one thing. Yeah.
And I think now, so now it's just kind of moving forward. This is just all about how to better yourself, how to better and improve, and moving forward. What is going to be the next measures from this point on?
So when this first happened, I know a lot of people felt depressed. They felt like that the whole world was ending, especially when you're doing something, the money was flowing real good, and all of a sudden it just stops. So what are people feeling right now? I mean, what do you think they are going through right now?
I feel like this is just the beginning, because we're talking about this has just only been a month. So another 2 months of this. It's gonna get real for a lot more people. You know what I mean? I think the first wave, like we were talking about, the first wave was the service industry. So those that are like barbers and nail techs and all of that stuff. And I think as this thing carries on, it's gonna get more industries. Like I feel like of course, these situations that's happening so unforeseen. I think it's not a good feeling. It's not a good vibe.
It's kind of scary a little bit too.
It's kind of very scary. Mm-hmm. And then, and like I said, like reiterating what I just said earlier, is a lot of these places, and especially independent and business owners that had their own establishments, may not have them after this all said and done on this. Or have their building or whatever. Might have to just, be at their crib for a little bit and rebuild right back up or whatever. Or, This is a very, it's a very interesting time.
So while you in your, what we call you in your jailhouse, because you've been, what have you been doing for the last week or so? Quarantine? Quarantine?
I quarantined myself. So I came from Dallas. I came from Dallas and came here to Tulsa, chill with come over here and stay with my pops. I'm gonna stay over here at pops and everything. And I didn't want to chance it, so I just kind of quarantined myself.
So into your jail, quarantine in a room with a TV and one meal a day. No, just playing.
I got it.
So
I got my studio stuff. I'm in here just recording and making music.
Okay. So you're making your own music.
Make my own music. Yeah.
So you come out your own sound. You see, Josh, that's nice. You don't need nobody else's stuff. You are good. And so, what is your sound? Is it jazz? What is it? What's your sound?
I don't know. I'm just
doing
using so many different things. But that's crazy you talking about that. That's one of the things I want to do. I want to like DJ my own records and then DJ my own sound and do that because one of the things I was getting tired of just DJing the top 40 and everybody else's records, knowing that I can make my own music and do my own thing. So that's one of the things. Now just sitting here and forcing myself now to create these records and do different things it's quite interesting. Now I'm like working on music and then acting like I'm DJing these records at the same time. So it's
Have you ever thought about I know you have a few times. You got on live, the DJ, live. How was that working? Just to get on. So did it kind of give you the same feel? I know it's not the same feel as being in a club.
No, it's not the same vibe at all.
You still can't get that same.
No, I can still DJ, but I don't know. It's just something in my spirit is like, yo, just crack down on, just making your own music. I think it's going to be more. I think it's more of an impact when people hear things that they have never heard before, and then hear your own true expression. When anything that you make homemade or you make handmade yourself or anything, I think it's a little bit more interesting than just playing the same records that you have already been hearing on the radio, or already known, and all of that. And I don't know. That to me started to get boring. That was boring after a while. Just playing. Same records, same thing. I know everybody's gonna dance to this, do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a whole different feeling if you put your own tune on and then everybody dances to that. So
I would feel
this is experimental time.
I think I would feel there'll be a lot of house parties going on too. As soon as the day they say everybody's free, but as soon as the day they say everybody's free, I'm not gonna be free. I'm sorry. Because how do they know when to say? I can see. If they said, well, no one dying or no one's getting sick, I can understand that. But I'm going to be kind of still afraid to just say, okay, everybody's free, and instantly everybody starts doing house parties. Because I think that's the next thing that's going to happen.
Did Keisha send you that video? She sent me that video about that lady just now. I just watched it. About the lady, she had the virus.
Yeah.
And went to the doctor, and they told her to go and get quarantined for 2 weeks. So she did 2 weeks thing and she was like, it was the worst thing she ever had and everything. And then went through the whole experience and got through. She lived it and everything, but decided to go back to the doctor to go get tested again. And they told her they don't usually test. They don't test the second time.
They don't what?
So she went back and forth. Yeah. She went back and forth with the doctor, and then the doctor said, okay, if you want to get tested again, you got to go somewhere else and go do it. So she went somewhere else, got the test, and she waited on it, I think, a couple of days or something like that, and she called him, and ended up to get the results. And the results was that she had it still.
She still had it?
Still had it.
Even though, but she felt well. I didn't get to see the video. I didn't watch it.
She was good. Everything was good. She had no fever. She didn't have nothing. She was going around. She was, doing her thing. And then when she went to go test the second time, she still had it. But she was around her family. She was doing all that. And so the lady on the phone was like, so after I guess the lady probed a little bit, and she told her that, I already had it before. How do I already have it? Y'all told me to sit for 2 weeks and it's going to be done. And then I went to go get tested again, and the lady got shot. She shook. She was like, "Oh, you got tested again? You're not supposed to be getting tested again, or whatever."
Yeah.
But you just said that I got coronavirus still. So the lady was just like, "All right, well, you need to stay in confinement. I guess for another 2 weeks or whatever." So
what?
I don't know. It's just a lot of miss. It's just a lot of hit miss. Like I don't think nobody knows exactly what is going on with this virus. I mean, they're saying one thing, but I think it's a whole other thing.
But they talking about Tom Hanks had got the virus, and he was for 2 weeks, and now he was out and flew back here, and he's quarantining himself in his house. But look at the people around, so I'm not gonna be quick to get out.
That's one of the things I'm not buying either. It's a lot of celebrities that got it, but they all good, but everybody else is getting it. It's like,
yeah, they sick.
Deathbed, you know what I mean? And it's crazy. Like, I mean, even if you got it and you promote it, man, I don't think it's cool that you promoted it as a celebrity or saying it on Instagram and you don't have no symptoms at all. You're not doing anything, whatever, and just saying I got it and I'm just positive and smiling. You chilling with your wife and everybody and just being cool.
Yeah.
When there's people that are going through it, like they feel like they on their deathbed and they struggling, and just something ain't right, because every celebrity that's going through that or saying they have it, it's not going through the same process.
Yeah, it is something weird. Yeah.
It's sold as fear. Like, it's just to make everybody else be scared to take all the extra precautions, but somehow they got money so they can maneuver through that, and I guess all the
Now, I saw that video that I saw. Did you send me the video about somebody went to California and they went to what other state they went to, and it's really, they saying that the beds are crowded. They don't have enough nurses. They went there. There's nobody in the beds in the hospital. Was that you just sent me that video?
Yeah.
You know, and so it's saying that it's not a lot of people sick right now, but they saying it is or something.
Man, it's a whole lot of speculation. I mean, that is, I feel, to me, I think there is people getting sick. I think it is. For me, and just looking at things, I don't think it's that many people is what everybody, I think the numbers is being kind of played with a little bit as far as what is being told through the media and what's actually really going on. Mm-hmm. So there's some people like that will listen to what's going on the media.
Yeah.
And that will go and fact check and go to actually these places. And there's certain places that go and it's not being accurate. It's not the same things what they've been projecting on the news. Yeah. So there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of this, a lot of that, and so I don't know.
So when they say the quarantine is over, the day they say it's over, how many people are going to believe it and really go and start getting to the crowd and really start going back to store? Yeah, I wouldn't either, really.
And what's crazy is that how you can predict the highs and the lows like it's the weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not laughing about it because there's people that's dying or whatever, but I'm just like, you think about it, like, how do you predict the highs and lows? How do you predict that, you know what I mean, this week is going to be the worst day it's possibly going to be, and then the next week is going to be this and whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just giving that information and all these other videos that's coming out here, it's almost like everybody's getting in this place of where they're misinformed. Yeah. So people that are reading it still have, the virus. Yeah. Still in, so it's, I'm not going over there. I'm chilling, man. Yeah. I'm chilling full of.
So soon as they say
everybody now moving forward is gonna be walking around with masks and everything. You know how it is in China. I think everybody's gonna be doing that nonstop now. I think, everybody gonna have Gucci masks, Louis Vuitton masks.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna be professional at making masks, and they're gonna do it at the house. And we gonna walk around. That's gonna be the look.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about spiritually. Let's talk about spiritually. I know people can't go to church and things like that. So, and a lot of people were dependent upon the church to be saved. So if they're not having church, they probably gonna have struggles. And that's why churches shouldn't have people depending on, okay, if I go to church, I'm going to stay saved, but if I'm not at church, I'm not going to be saved. I don't have no one to keep me accountable, no accountability. What do you think about that? I mean, I just feel that all the messages and things should have prepared us for something like this. Mm-hmm. And people depend on, if I can't go to church, then I can't stay strong, which they understand the church is inside of them. It's their life, it's their personal relationship with God. It ain't about the personal relationship depending on a pastor or opinion upon a church. So this situation is kind of showing up who really heard the messages and who's really doing their part at home outside of church.
Right. And I think, but that's the whole thing, and I've always believed that it's your spiritual walk is I think it's a personal journey. Yeah. The fact that we go to somewhere and we go to a church and everything, that's just, like I was talking about earlier, is connecting with your tribe and then just getting that through fellowship. But the actual real church is really within internalizing you and what you do, the practices, and because only you can control your spirit as far as your spirit, your own personal spirit. Like, you can either allow it to die or live through your relationship.
Because we know the basics. We know the basics already. We already know. The pastor ain't got to tell us the basics. And the basics should help us.
Right. But that goes to show, but there's people that depend on it, though. No matter what. There's certain people, like, you can tell them what to do, but it's up, like, when you give it up to them, and for them to do it, they don't trust themselves. Yeah. And I think everything, what we all do in times, we want to lean on something to give us that reinsurance or give us that validation, as opposed to we getting our own true, perspective and our true answer within ourselves. We want to get an outside. We want to get an outside opinion as opposed to, all right, let me go within myself and take these principles and let me show forth for myself. And I think with that, that's where the discipline comes in. That's where the time spent comes in, and that's where the things can. And another thing, not depending on any outside or a church or anything, when you can go and you can get it for yourself, you have something to offer. You can bring something to the table. You can bring something back. You know what I mean? To where other people can be getting something or something you've seen or something that you've experienced, and you can bring it back to the table. But a lot of people has been depending on all these other outlets and churches and everything else to kind of follow their relationship and everything. But now that we quarantine, we having to look within ourselves. We have to look within our, the peace within ourselves. You know what I mean? We got to look at ourselves. It's a personal, I think somebody said, it's your own personal journey.
It is. Y'all, those are just coming in. I'm interviewing we're not interviewing, we have a conversation with my son. And y'all, those on Facebook Live, excuse the way I have it, I could not figure out how.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion about this?
Okay, I'm supposed to say something. It may look kind of ghetto, but it's the only way I can get him on. So y'all, excuse the way it looks. When I had to switch my pad, it didn't look like this, but we had technical difficulties. So just listen to what we're saying and don't judge the way I have this right now, because I had it perfect at first, but we had to do some rearranging and all that stuff there.
No, you good.
My opinion.
Nobody would have noticed unless you pointed out, Mom.
Huh?
Nobody noticed until you pointed out. I mean,
I'm on here. It's nosebone here. On the other screen, I'm looking at. The other screen. I'm talking to my other screen over here. What I think about it, I think that we as pastors have not done a good job if our flock can't come to church and also they go back into the world. Because you got to wonder why people come to church. Is it because they're made to come? Are they're being obligated to come? Are they come because they want to come and they want their spirits to be strong? So it's to the point is we suppose they gave them tools that when something like this was to happen, we would never dream that this would ever happen to us. I mean, never. Nobody could never tell us that this would happen. So I believe all the messages that we get from all the years, we should have really took them into our heart and our spirit, because we're not supposed to control you. We're supposed to give you God, and then you get God for yourself. We're supposed to guide you, not control you. And the Bible says, don't forsake the fellowship. Because the fellowship is to help you to be, as being strong, hearing someone else's testimony, hearing what someone else is dealing with, going through, and you come together. And there's supposed to be another source of family. Sometimes the church is the only person's family. If they don't have that, they don't have a family. Because sometimes you're the only one saved, so you go to your family, they drinking and things. So church can be that too. But in the midst of it all, if you listen to all the teaching and all the word that you've been getting, it's for right now. That's where your faith is being activated. But right now, you have to step out on faith to know I can't go to church today, so I got to know that God on the inside of me is real. And come to church is just to help boost you and make you strong. So when this happens that you can't go to church, you ain't going to fall because you can't go to church. Your spirit is still the same spirit. You still got the same teaching. And if people really depend on church, then you may just need to watch some videos, some old videos of your church service or something that's going to keep you boosted. I can understand somebody weak and just got saved. I can see that. But if you've been saved 5 years and you crawl in the church and barely make it, there's something wrong with that picture right there. Something's totally wrong with that. So,
I mean, but some people don't see themselves. They don't see themselves higher than what they, where they don't see themselves at their fullest potential. And they just depend on someone to, like I was talking about, validate that for them. And the thing about it in all of this, and that's where all of this is driving from, is faith. And the faith part, where it's real strong on, is having the faith that I can whatever that's inside of me, and the thing that whatever the God gives me, or the talent, or whatever that's inside, or whatever. Because I think we all have the internal messages and have the internal, things. God gave us, like, giving us advice at all times. Every time I move somewhere, it's like He's talking, and it's like, all right, am I gonna listen or not? But you have to take time out to understand and extinguish the truth, like figure out like what is that is telling you, and then trust in that. Once you get it, you gotta trust it. That's where, even in everything, you gotta learn how to bet on yourself.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know how to do that because they only bet. How many people come to you because you are a pastor, and how many people come to you and before they even make every decision, they come to you and ask you whether or not to do it.
Yeah.
And they should. They should, of course, take wise counsel.
Yeah.
But they should assess and then get into it in a space to where they're able to make sound decisions by themselves and know where to move.
Yeah.
There's certain things that, there's big things that you can go and get wise counsel, but then there's certain moves that you make that I think internally is for you to decide.
Yeah, they don't understand they don't understand how to listen to that inner voice or God's voice on their own. Because all they hear is the preaching and the word, and that's good. But then when you get home, you have to go over the message and hear God, because God want to add some more to the message. It's not about what the pastors say. God wants you to dig into the word and get more revelation out of what the pastors say. Because when we give a word, it's going to be personal, different to each one of us. I mean, the word's the same, but it's going to hit us in different areas. The word will hit you in your weak points, and you got to know how to pull up that word by yourself.
Absolutely.
And get it. But like I said, churches have people totally dependent on, on the pastor, and don't teach them how to depend on God themselves.
But I think that's all. Institutions. I think everything's institution. That's all. Like, so if you go to college or you go to anything, you're depending on that thing to get whatever you're going to get.
Yeah.
But what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go because, churches it's like a school.
Yeah.
You go there, you learn, but then when you go out in the real world, everybody's story is different. Like what my story can't line up to everybody. I got my own individual story. I got my own traumas. I got my own things, and only I know what it is. You know what I mean? I know personally what I've been through and what I've gone through and what I'm facing every day.
Yeah.
So I got to know how to apply, know how to trust in God within myself to know how to move and maneuver anything I do. Like if I'm in the clubs or if I'm in these spaces and these other things, I gotta try to get to myself to where I'm strong enough to, figure out okay, what is the next move and what I'm doing moving forward.
So the word is a guideline, and you got to take that guideline and go into your field what you do with that guideline. Yeah, exactly. So if I'm preaching a sermon, then you got to say, okay, this is what the sermon says. Now, how do I make it go into my career, my job, my whatever I do, my talents? How do I make that work for me? God, help me to take that word and make it work for what I'm doing. Now, somebody will look at your situation and say that you are DJing clubs. They will look at you and say, oh, he's a sinner. Oh, he need to get saved. He need to get delivered. What do you say about that? Hey, I'm being real right now. What do you say about that?
Like I said, what I say is everybody's spiritual journey is their own personal journey. Yeah. I feel like if you worried about what I'm doing and if you worried about what I got going on, that means you're not really focused, or you're not really in tune with what you got going on. Yeah. Because if you ain't sure what you got going on,
you'll be praying for them or whatever the doubt you have.
Or you'll be focused on what you're doing, and then you pray, and then knowing down the line that well, there's something going on. He got his own journey, and I got my own journey. And I believe there's so many things where we worry about someone else, and a lot of times we set these expectations for everybody else that we don't set on ourselves. Yeah. I know. Naturally, we want a superhero. Naturally, we want someone, to be a superhero for us. Yeah. That's just like it's just a human thing. We look at human behavior. They want to look at somebody, like look at the celebrities. We look at celebrities, I don't, but most people look at celebrities and they bring them up to a high pedestal, and in the moment they make a mistake, they just criticize them and they get done with them. Do that because internally they've held them in a high place and exalted them to the place to where they cannot do no wrong. You know, whatever. But man, these people are human. We're all human. And a lot of times the people that judge the most are the ones that are either doing less or doing the most. You know what I mean? So
I remember when I was growing up, I was a model, and my parents said I was not being saved, and they never come to none of my shows. They never supported me and things like that, and that just crushed my world, because I said, why would God? I know God will figure it out for us. Man tries to figure things out for us and tells what's a sin, what's not a sin. And it was ungodly to do what I was doing. So it really forced me to go deep into sin, because I was trying to figure my way versus having somebody to support me and say, help me navigate through it. I went into depression. I went into like, well, why would God give me he made me sick. I was 6 foot tall. Why would you give me be 6 foot tall? I love glamour. I love makeup, and now it's a sin to wear makeup. It's a sin to do, I was like, well, why would God make me the way I was to just throw it away? And I never could understand that, and I gave up on it. I really did. I just threw in the towel, said I'm not gonna model no more, and like that. But the funny thing about the whole thing is I had 6 kids. I have 6 kids. And I'm seeing some of the things that I went through, I'm seeing in them, and that's why I'm not quick to judge, if I see things that's not going right, I'm going to pray, but I'm not going to crush you. I'm not going to say, well, it's a sin, you better get yourself on the out. Y'all don't have that thing. I'm coughing. Okay, I'm choking because I'm talking too fast. Anyway, I'm not going to look at you and say, don't do that because you saved, you in the church. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let God I'm going to support you. And I'm going to let God figure it out. God can untangle because God gave you the talent of DJing. He gave you the talent of music and sound, or acting, whatever you said. He gave you talent of modeling, which he hadn't tapped into that part yet, but he can model too. He gave you all kind of talents, and I don't think,
I gotta go to the dentist and get all my.
You know what? My partial. I've got to put my partial in before we did this. So if y'all see a little gap, y'all see a little gap in my teeth. I forgot to put my partial in, so don't judge me. Okay, now it's playing.
Right.
But we have got too religious. I'd rather to see a person with the Holy Ghost into a club with a mic than somebody who's so religious. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using your thing like that. So religious, and we're pinpointing what God's saying is right and what's wrong. And there's doors that we don't get into because we're so religious.
Man, I still battle that right now to this day. I still battle those minds. Like, I sometimes get convoluted, like, with my mind on, because I grew up in church and I grew up in all of that, and being, I battle that mind of whether I'm doing something right or wrong. That line is so thin, because I'm like, yo, am I sinning doing this? There's doors that open, and I just, and I know, I mean, I'm grown and I know I can make all the decisions, but at the same time, like, you can feel sometimes it's kind of hard when you grow up a certain way, and then as you progress and do things like, say, like, kind of in the entertainment world that I'm into, and the different things, I still battle that. I still go back and forth sometimes and just be like, you know what I'm saying?
So you wonder,
I can go forward, I can go all the way, you know what I mean?
So you wonder if it's the Holy Spirit talking to you, or is because you've been taught a certain mindset? Are you trying to see if it's hard to decipher which one it is?
No, it could be, sometimes it could be you just know too much. I know a lot of, I'm always into it, and sometimes even when I'm creating music, or even when I'm listening to certain songs, and I know certain frequencies. I know certain words. I know certain things, and I'm like, I can't indulge in this. I know where this is going and where it's taking me. And this is not just a spiritual. It's not just about church or anything like that. I think because this is a conversation even if you're not in church or whatever.
Yeah.
Just being aware of the frequencies and different things that you're allowing to go into, to digest.
Yeah.
You can't digest everything.
Yeah.
Like from a hearing standpoint, from a seeing standpoint.
Yeah.
Of course, food. You know what I mean? So I think everything's food.
Yeah.
And sometimes can be, going and making certain decisions, going to certain places, like it sometimes leaves you kind of paranoid sometimes. For me. Because I'm like, and then when I was really going hard on the herbal, when I was smoking and everything, and when you smoke, your spirit, like, it opens you up on so many things. That's why I had to stop, because I started feeling so many different...
Why did you start smoking?
Well, I started, you want to go first? Well, I started...
Hey, this is called being real right now.
Yeah, well, I started coming off of a relationship. I was getting out of a relationship and everything, and then I was hanging out. Because all the way up to that point, I never smoked. I never wanted to smoke, and I've always been aware of the side effects. Because I used to look at people and be like, "Yo, man, I see the effects. Like I see people, they move a little slower. I even see it on their face. They're like, they're sleepy all the time. I used to be always aware of that. I'm like, no, I would never go down that route. But it's crazy where life sometimes take you sometimes, and you just be at a very vulnerable moment, or you just want to chill. And then one time nobody peer pressuring me or anything. I was just like, man, let me try it. Let me see what's up. So I did it. Yeah. And it opened me up into a whole different thing. And then I was creating music, and it helped me on certain things. I think in the beginning it was very enlightening for me. I was just like, what? And it made me kind of get out my own way. Because at first I used to be just very
closed in.
Very closed in, very uptight. And then when I started smoking, I started like just doing whatever.
Yeah.
But I felt, as I kept doing it, because I wasn't smoking indica and nothing like that, because indica is like a body high, and then sativa is like a mind high. So I was doing like sativa, and that was my,
I know the difference.
I know, but somebody on here know what I'm talking about. So we go, I'm just going down the whole rabbit hole about it. But yeah, so as I was going, I started to realize that, the deeper and deeper you go into this stuff, man, a lot of people talk about it's health or whatever, it's healthy or whatnot, or anybody can do it. I don't feel like everybody's made for it, and I don't think I was really made for it. You know what I mean? Because long term, as time went, I just started seeing myself. Because sometimes you can open yourself up, and you open yourself up too much, and you are fighting other frequencies and other spirits. And then it started like, when I started chilling with women and different things, I started it just make you see things in a whole different. I don't know. You start getting confused.
Yeah.
Because what's happening, you open yourself up to so many frequencies and spirits and different things. But I don't want to get all creepy and everything.
Let's talk about women now.
Oh no, Mama, come on. We just did. I thought that was the first conversation that you had.
No, that was marriage. Now I'm talking about women as a whole. Okay. Do you put women in the same category as?
You can tell this is a mama. You can tell this is my mama.
This is my son. Okay. Okay. Just hear what I'm saying. Do you put women in the same category as? I'm not saying smoking weed, but both of them were demons for you. Can I just use that word? I'm going to use that word. Just use that word.
So you're saying that there's women out here that are like demons?
No, I'm not saying that. Kind of get in my head now. You know me, you can go deep. Okay, when you said that the smoking was not really good, and then the women thing wasn't really good. Okay, do you put them?
When I was smoking and I was around certain vibes. Yeah.
Okay, when you stopped smoking, okay, how was dating for you? Really date. People don't date no more. They go sleep in the bed. I'm talking about really dating. Without next moment after you date that one date and y'all sleeping together. I'm talking about how was dating for you?
Man, I kind of chilled out. I kind of just chilled. I chilled.
Yeah.
I just chilled out after all of that. Because I've been, because of that, what we're talking about as far as getting your spiritual level right, like getting your, like trying to get, I have to, because right now, like we were talking about earlier, we was getting on the conversation about me getting a wife or having a girlfriend. No, I ain't been in a relationship in like 5 years.
Wow. Okay, wait. Okay, listen. You have been in a relationship for 5 years. Right, you know where I'm going. Wait. No. You have been in a relationship for 5 years.
Where you gonna go with this, Bob? Where you gonna go with this? Where you gonna go?
You have been, you said you have not been in a relationship. Y'all, didn't he say he had not been in a relationship? Not committed relationship. Okay. So when is the last time you dated a woman?
Okay, Mama, you're going into like, come on, Mom. I mean, I can't go. I'm not gonna go into all of that now. Come on.
Okay, doing all this.
All right, let's define dating, because dating now is kind of I don't know. It's kind of.
Well, I'm trying to go into with quarantine now. And difference between you, the last time you dated. Okay, last time you dated. That you remember the last time you dated? How long ago was that? He should laugh.
Some months.
Okay, months. Okay, now that you're quarantined, would it be able to date? Would it be easy to date right now? I'm talking about, talking to somebody right now. It would be easy that you're quarantined.
I think so. I would think so. If you find somebody right now in these times and we stuck in this crib for like 3 months, we got nowhere to go. I think this is a great time to get to know somebody. I feel like, you know what I mean? Just like put that time down and lay that foundation, I would think.
Yeah.
Because the foundation, whether knowing that you have a connectivity as far as mentally, and that you connected in that way, because I think sometimes we bypass that. We'll get to that place for a short time as far as understanding the mental capacity and all of that, and bypass that, the physicality. Even just to the point, it don't even got to be sexually. It could just be being. Sometimes we can order someone's energy, just chilling with them and just be just liking that vibe.
Yeah.
And just sitting watching a movie and not expounding on and taking advantage of that time to really expound and really get to know, what I mean, who you really dealing with.
Yeah.
You going just doing all these things but not really taking the time out just to
because some people never date, but since we're in quarantine, they got to date now. I guess I wouldn't call it date, because dating is really getting data on a person. So
people taking it back to middle school now. They like, yo, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
I slow down. Now it's a whole different thing. Middle school.
I really feel now that
like we at home again.
I really feel right now that people can date. Dating is not. It's just getting data on a person, and I figured that now, since we're quarantined now, they can really do that now.
Yeah.
They can really do that. They can really understand a person. They can ask questions. They can talk, and it's not no hand touching, nothing. It's none of that stuff. And I think it's the best time to date right now. What do people think about that?
Yeah. You said what people think about it.
Yeah. I think it's the best time to date now. I mean, I really do. I mean, what's that show?
But the thing is, so you say that, but okay, so what are the avenues in which you can go and find a date? Were you thinking just going in someone's DMs, or you saying going to like dating apps right now?
I don't know. I heard people get married from just being online. I mean, I heard that before.
That's kind of, man, I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Okay, Joel said, but it can be, what did he say, desperation too? How? Joel, explain that. He's talking
But it can be desperation too. Yeah. What he's saying is at this time right now, because it's a vulnerable time.
Oh, I think about it. Okay, I see it now. I didn't get it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get it. Okay.
Joe's stupid.
Okay, they don't have nobody, so they can't do what they normally do. So hey, just get online and just
just talk. Let's have a conversation. Then when the real world comes, you kick back in, and it's like, all right, I'm going back to resort to my old ways.
Yeah.
But after all of this, man, if you go back to your old ways after this, man, stupid.
So we're saying this conversation that people should learn from what we're going with now. We're going to appreciate it more better. That now we all, I mean, the whole world, I can't even really think about it. Sometimes I think about the whole world can't go to work. The whole world can't do anything right now.
No.
They can't do anything. And some people that's quarantined in different homes, that are boyfriend, girlfriends, you know, they are doing it this way right now. What do you say? Who's looking for a quarantine babe?
Who's looking for a quarantine babe?
Talk on the phone, yes, but men think it means in-house sex and will do away with courting. Oh, Jesus, so that's taking it to a whole nother level.
No, that's real, though.
That's taking it to a whole nother level.
Quarantine days. Yeah, I believe that. But that is a very, for me, that's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Because say you over there and you're doing that, and then something hazardous happens where you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it there's so many like negative factors that can happen with that, as far as taking advantage of this time to try to like find someone to just lay up with in this time and everything. I think.
Yeah.
I think if you do that, and as long as you stay with that, you stay in someone's house for 3 or 4 months, I think at that point, the woman gonna look at you crazy and like, yo, it's time to get married because we went through. Yeah. We got off. Okay, that thing it signed off. I just wanted y'all to hear some of the conversation that we were having. Let me turn this around. Okay, what I gotta do? Turn it around. For some reason it shut off. I don't know why it shut off. Let me put this back up. Hey y'all, I was having a conversation with my son and I had it looking so. Oh, he's starting back up again. Okay, let's see what he's doing. Okay, hold on. Wait on moms to come back.
Okay, he's back on. This is the only way I could do it, y'all. So just kind of just watch it for a few minutes.
That 1 hour quick.
Yeah. Hold on. Am I back on? Oh, he said that we only get an hour. That's why he's doing
Mom,
that.
you gonna let me join? You gonna join?
Oh, there we go. Oh. She said that we only get an hour. That's why he's doing that.
Yeah, we only get an hour on here.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. All right, y'all. We are. I had it fixed a certain way where the FaceTime was more professional on the other, but I decided to do a quick way. Is by just putting my video watching on Instagram of my other phone. So y'all, me and my son is having a conversation about being quarantined and things that he's doing. So that's the only way I can catch it now. I had it professional at first, but it didn't work, and so I'm like, we on live now, so I had to think of something quick. So that's why on this one here, because y'all, I'm doing FaceTime on my personal one. I'm doing not FaceTime. I'm doing Facebook on this other one.
Okay.
So, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So we were talking about
the dating part.
The disadvantages of trying to be quarantined right now.
Yeah. You know, it's I mean, I don't see. I've seen good relationships being online. I don't think. Not yet. You said about a few months from now, it may be desperation, but right now, I don't see anybody desperate for a man or woman. But I think it's they probably desperate for conversation. They may be desperate for conversation, but you think that they will get into a relationship online and on the media, and then as soon as we're free, they're gonna just drop the person online media, and then you think that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, no. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you spend all that time, right? You do that, and then you get with the person in person, and the person is not.
It's not what they think it is.
What they think it is. And then especially if they go into it, and then after all that time, and then they do have sexual exchanges, and then they like, this ain't what it is.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? That's a whole other topic right there, because I'm a pastor and I believe in waiting to get married. But some people told me, well, what if we get married and it, you got to try the person out first. Now, listen, so that's kind of what you're saying. You're saying that they got a relationship, but you're supposed to be attracted to the mind first, not sleeping with them first, because that end up being
I'm attracted to the mind. No doubt I'm attracted to the mind, but if it, like, we're talking about spending my whole life. I'm spending my whole life, for the rest of my life, with one woman.
No, wait. But no, here's where you go. Are you saying, wait. You're saying a person supposed to try the person out first, then shouldn't the mind be one person?
Well, I mean, yeah, when you get the mind and everything, but I think, man, I'm just being honest, man.
Okay.
I think you gotta test out the goods at one point, man. You got to, man, because I don't.
You don't trust God gonna give you the right person, I'll call it the right fit.
You gonna put this and this?
The right fit. You don't think God can make that work? I mean, I've seen people waited, and it has nothing to do with being a Christian. They just want to do it that way.
Right.
I don't know. Lord Jesus.
Oh no, man.
Okay, let's say we wasn't going.
That's a hard thing. Like you go 3 or 4 months and you talking to somebody on the phone and you just talking and you going back and forth and y'all have great conversation, everything's good, but that physical. So like I said, even if the vibe ain't right when you around them, like individually, like just the vibe, like somebody.
Okay, here she go. Friend that waited till marriage and they trusted God and they've been together for 6 years and the husband is lacking. Oh, what?
See?
See? And she said they trusted God. Oh, my God.
So you go.
Okay, what's Joel? You can buy a car without test and driving it. He said you can buy a car without test driving. No, he said no. He said it's supposed to say I can't buy a car without. He's changing the bottle. He had the can in there.
Yeah, you can't. Right there, yeah.
Joel, see y'all taking it whole. Oh my God.
No, but it's real though. That's real. I would say me personally, I think. See, everybody. So everybody have they. Yeah. The Bible says we're not supposed to, or the way marriage is supposed to go is you're supposed to talk to the person, be with the person, and you're supposed to wait until you get married.
Okay, yeah.
My philosophy, I feel like
First thing, don't say the Bible say.
Live with them for years, then get married.
Don't put the Bible before you say your philosophy. The Bible says, but my philosophy.
No, I'm saying I get that. I get what the. Because I got to do that because you're a pastor, so I got to bring that all in.
Okay.
No, and I know what is said, what the right way to do things, but the way today things are set up.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question then. Okay, this is a cool question right here. Have anybody you dated and you liked them and love was trying to start coming in, and you maybe went to bed with them? Did you leave them? Have you left anybody because of that? No, we're gonna be real. I want to know that everybody. Okay. I mean, have you actually left somebody because of that? For real. I'm really. You have left somebody. Was there any feelings and love?
I'm talking from experience. That's why I say I can't.
Oh my God.
But you gotta understand love. Like it ain't about love. Love is not. I don't know if love is measured by that. I think love is measured by the obstacles that you go through.
Yeah.
Because you got to go through some things. It ain't. I mean, if you're going based off good feelings and y'all just talking and then or just having and then you have sex and you just say, "Yo, I love you." Nah, that ain't what it is. That's not what it's about.
Okay, she said that's real. It happens so much. Okay, so much. So my friend said, had she known before, she wouldn't have married him. He is a wonderful husband, all she prayed for, but she feels like God's punishing her. Oh my God. You know, this is a real conversation right here. This is so real because woo!
See what I'm saying?
This is we gotta keep on with this because.
So what are you talking about? So she
okay,
said
when you put
she prayed for this dude.
Okay, let's listen. Okay, we got to dissect this. First thing, if you say God answers your prayer,
right,
we're putting God real small. When God answers your prayer, everything. If God said that, if you heard God's voice or whatever way you heard God saying God found you a man, God ain't that naive and not to make everything work the way it's supposed to, because that wouldn't be God. Now you gotta wonder, what voice are you hearing? Now we're talking about spiritual, saying God. What voice are we hearing?
So what standards are they measuring that by?
That's they're saying that they got a God.
Personal?
Yeah, because if God, just think about it. If God was to find you a husband or wife, He knows your body. He made us. He's not gonna make us come together and we're not gonna work. I mean, so I would say that wasn't God in the first place. That's what I would say. I never want to say nobody didn't hear God, but I believe that everybody's saying God found their husband. Now God will help you once you pick the wrong one. I believe that can happen.
And to say that He punished you, that ain't. I mean, He won't punish you.
No.
With a helmet.
He'll give you a husband to punish you. I disagree with that part. Yeah, I disagree with that part.
So they got to help you in all aspects, like and it shouldn't be no lacking. Now, but you know,
they cause us to go deep, Josh. We gotta go. They cause us to go deep.
I'm trying to maneuver in a way that. So I feel like there is people that come in your life that are assignments.
Okay, she said they both are pastor's kids. I've been a pastor's kid, so I know how that works.
I'm a pastor kid too.
I know how that works. Sometimes because we are pastor's kids and because we saying God, a lot of times when I said stuff was God, it wasn't God because I was in a church. I got familiar spirits. I got familiar with I thought was the voice of God, and I chose to make wrong decisions because of that. So being a pastor's kid is a little harder because we think we know God's voice and we think we know things, and it is not God at all, because God would not give us a mate or a husband and wife and don't put everything into the whole thing. So I would say that was not God. I would say that you chose it because that's what you want. You thought you wanted, but I don't know. Whoever's saying it got to make sense. Yeah, it does, but because if you're saying that God put us together, you're putting God small now, like He don't know who. It's like God is just dumb and don't know what to put together. He made our bodies. He know each person. So you put God's name to it, you make Him sound like He's small and don't know what to do. So I don't think that God would do that. A lot of folks saying God's speaking. He is not speaking. I don't never say God speaking. I was saying a spirit of the Lord. I was saying an angel. I ain't hardly ever saying God, because when God speaks, He's huge. It'd be thunder and lightning.
Right.
It'd be real. But
it's like a domino effect. It's like one thing equals another thing into another thing, and it's a domino effect. But one thing too, but a lot of people, for me, everything doesn't come easy for me.
Yeah.
So it's always I gotta go. It's not that it doesn't. It's the hard route. It's just like with what is on my life, I have to do things a certain way. You know what I mean? And I feel like what a lot of people don't do is to reach down deep in themselves. I think right now, in this time with this quarantine thing, it's making people going deep within themselves.
Yeah.
Even when they're married, they're in their house with their husband and wife right now.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of divorce going on now too. I heard a lot of divorces going on now because they're getting sick of them.
With the divorce lawyers just ready, after this whole quarantine thing, because people are actually having to deal with the person, but in all actuality, you're dealing with yourself.
Yeah.
See, I don't believe that the person, it's not that the person is bad for you, is you. It was you inside. It was what you allowed to accept.
Yeah.
But if you would have got yourself at a certain level, you would have got yourself at a place where you were fully confident, you fully kind of knew where you were going inside, you kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of got to the place where you have raised your own personal potential up to where you could be able to see at the level in which if God were to give you somebody or somebody that was really made for you. I think there's a lot of people that are made for us, but we haven't rise to that occasion and to that level to receive that. It's like you could walk somewhere, and there were so many times where I would be doing stuff or doing things, and I'll go to the same place, and immediately when I've crossed this like paradigm in my mind, or I've learned something or came in some type of knowledge, and those blinders came off, you can go to the same place like your whole life, but when the blinders come off,
it's different.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing. You start to see people that you ain't never seen before, and start to see certain things.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where I feel that a lot of us don't get to individually. And a lot of things that we allow to accept is because of our own personal neediness and our own personal things that
and we don't know how to wait. We don't know how to wait. We don't know how to wait. We don't know how to wait.
We want something. We want instant gratification immediately.
I don't know. Me and my husband got married. Of course, my husband's brother was married to my sister, which they got a divorce eventually. But we got married 3 weeks later. And but you know, when you're 20, we was 25 when we got married, and we kind of started dating like 24.
Yeah.
And we don't know what we want. We really don't know at a young age. But we evolve and we grow together. And I think you can grow, because I'm nothing. I've probably changed a whole bunch of times since I'm not the person that he married. And we all got to update each other on what we grow from. I mean, how we're growing. The things I used to like, I don't like now. So we have to update each other, because I got like, well, I used to like this, but I don't like it now. So you got to constantly be in communication. We constantly talk, because we make decisions when we're young that we have to keep. We got to make it work. I mean, God can make it work. I'm 56 years old right now. And we got married. We were 25 years old when we got married. So we've been more than half my life together. So, but I think as you grow, you start making each one become each other, if that's the way I can explain it.
Yeah.
You become in each other's space. You sound like each other. And I think that's when God comes in, because I don't think God actually put a sanction on all these marriages that's married, but he can put a sanction on it if we do it his way. He can turn it around and make us fit. Make us fit. He can turn it around. Oh, that's a good rap. Make us fit. He can turn. He's a God of the supernatural. He can do anything. So if we didn't fit, if it didn't work, if it didn't whatever, he can. If you really put your mind to it, saying, Lord, I'm putting this in your hand. I'm inviting you into our situation. A lot of areas that I feel that we did not fit. We didn't. Sometimes even the dad walked down the aisle, we both had doubts, but we said, you know what? We both in the same boat. We both was going through it real bad. We both in the same boat. We said, you know what? We gonna hold each other's hand, and it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. And
but
so
it's a mutual thing, and it's like y'all both got to be. That's what love is.
Wait. So if you're saying you're in marriage and you don't fit, do y'all talk about it, or you just stay and don't say nothing, don't communicate, don't anything, and say, I want a divorce? How you do that? I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I've never been in that situation, so
anybody want to tell me, what are you supposed to do? Hey man, we don't fit. We in love with the mind, we in love with everything else, but this area we not in love. Okay, love is, I thought love was cover everything, what the Bible said, what the Bible says, and there's a way that it'll work. It's a way that things will work out. You'll grow into maturity of whatever area. And but it has to be totally God. It has to be totally God. You know, so I that's crazy. I've heard of that before. I have heard that before. I have heard that. But
I have been bamboozled before. I get it, because I think now the part where I can see how that can happen. You can be bamboozled, like looking over certain things that you see that are error or that is not for you, but you just kind of brush over it and kind of be like, maybe it will work itself out. You know what I mean? Eventually, and you just keep going on with it. And then sometimes in our minds, we could want something to work so bad to where you just pretty much you create this false reality. And then a lot of times, what I found is that if you keep feeding yourself like fantasy, you'll start to create fantasy in your mind and in your life. Like, so it's so many things like movies, and if you subject yourself to pornography, you subject yourself to all these things that are fantasy driven things. It starts to it messes up your the peripheral as far as how you see and how you perceive things. And you get in situations where you desiring the fantasy and not the reality. And the reality is understanding the process. You already, so the fantasy is, coming in a situation, dude or the woman knock you off your feet, and then you just kind of like, yo, this is the person for me, and then, yo, I just see marriage. And then, but don't see the process in between. You know what I mean? How everything, when you go to volley and go back and forth. So I've been in that situation where, I kind of like, I think everybody at some point has been bamboozled, even if it was by love or if it was by sex or whatever, lust or whatever the case may be. It once again, it boils down to what you are feeding yourself. Like, what I mean, like just your diet. Feeding yourself garbage. You keep feeding that. You keep feeding yourself garbage. Your body is going to counteract. It's going to start to react to what the things that you're feeding. Like, yo, you start getting tired all the time. You get fatigued. You're not, your body ain't moving at its highest potential and what it's supposed to do. And that's the same thing with our minds. If we keep feeding our mind garbage and fantasy and everything, and then your decision making and the different things that you try to do moving forward starts to get convoluted, and you're like,
I don't know if everybody knows that we're vegan. We're vegan eaters, / plant-based. But this is a really good conversation. I think a lot of people would love for someone to really talk more on that situation there, because I've heard, you don't hear a lot of people stand away from sex, before marriage. There's not a lot of people out there like that.
Because of that fear.
Fear. So the sex part.
I don't have to stay with someone for a year. I don't know if I can. I feel like I got to stay with somebody for at least a year just to kind of see how we gonna live, man.
You're talking about like shacking up?
Shacking up for a year.
Oh. Now, Josh.
Man, I've experienced it. I've done it, so I know the paralysis that goes on.
You're saying you've done it and you experienced it, but what does it? Okay, you said a few minutes ago, but the Bible says this. But my philosophy on this is so.
No. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Your philosophy is, really, if you had a choice on which one you're supposed to do, which one would you do? Not talking about the sex part, not talking about nothing, but in a relationship, what would you do? Because I think the wedding day should be, and like the lady said earlier, that, they had a good relationship, but once they got married, it wasn't what she thought it was. But I thought your wedding night is supposed to be the balloons and the stars and the Valentine, all this stuff popping up. It's supposed to be a real special day and a special night. So that means her situation.
I got a whole opinion on that.
Her situation was not that type of night. I have heard of 2 marriages that they had the whole wedding and they got annulment the next day. I've heard that with 2 people before. I don't know why they divorced. I mean, I don't know why, not divorced, but they got annulment the second day. I don't know. And the only thing I can think of, it could because of that.
Yeah.
You know, they dated but how can you fall in love with somebody and because the sex didn't work out, you want to leave them if you was really in love? That's my question would be. I mean, your situation, you might not have been in love. I don't know. You might not have been in love. But what if you was really madly in love, just all by the personality, the conversations, everything about it you love, but then when the sex time come, it wasn't good. So would you break a relationship because of that when you could really fix that, you think? I mean, I'm really real right now. I just want to know if you're really in love. For real. Really in love, for real.
I don't think I can be really in love until I do.
What? Oh. Josh, come on now. Come on.
All right. Man, he's talking to the wrong person on this.
I really am on this one. I am. Yes.
I'm still searching. I'm still walking through that path. I'm still trying to figure it out. That love perspective, man.
That love, what love is. Yeah, this is I'm Felicia. Tennyson is my son Josh. For those just coming on, we're having a good conversation, mother and son talking. And anytime you want to chime in or say anything, because we're trying to on what we're talking about, quarantine. But this is a good quarantine conversation because this is what people gonna have to deal with. I really think that some people are not. I believe some people are not quarantined. They're sneaking their little whatever boyfriends and girlfriends into their quarantine thing. I really believe that people are really not being quarantined right now. You cannot tell me that people are being quarantined and the boyfriend or whatever is not sneaking in the night or whatever. I mean, I can't see that. I can't see that. If each person quarantined in their own house and they think they know another person.
There's a lot of people that live with each other.
Yeah, they shacking it. It's shacking up a real word, and we just use that for the church.
Man, shacking up is that's an old way of going about doing it, but it's an old term. But yeah, no, it is. That's what it is, though.
So they feel they have to live the marriage for about, live it for a while to see if it works, and then if it doesn't work, you just say, hey, do you tell your mate that, we don't fit? You tell a mate that...
It's hard now. I don't know. Maybe I probably ain't came across the right one, but it's hard because everybody's trying to put their best foot forward. Man. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody is...
vintage term.
Yeah, man. Everybody can fit. Like now, you can get too much information on people. Now you can go down someone's timeline and figure out who that person is. You can, if you follow them for a while, you can figure out what books they on and what kind of things they're talking about. There's probably because I'm gonna do more lives and do different things. There's probably gonna be people like listening and hearing certain things and then going back doing their research or whatever, and then they come in your face and then be like, "Yo."
Yeah.
I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's that whole so it's. I know it's probably not the ideal and the best thing to do, but it's just like a year you can kind of see whether or not you can live with that person and you're gonna go through whatever you're gonna go through. Now I'm not saying you ain't gonna you're gonna see every single thing, but at least you can just get a gist of what it's gonna be to live with that person. You see the wigs come off, and you see all the
now listen, that's what we was talking about earlier. Listen, you gonna date a girl online, you gonna take your makeup off in front of me, you gonna pull to see if there's any tracks in that weave. You gonna pull nowadays these wigs got the little skulls on, don't they? I'll tell you, if you see somebody with perfect baby hair on their edges, believe me, it's a wig. It's a wig. Just tell me. You know their hair is perfect. You got a little baby hair right here.
Yeah, I didn't see where I get it from.
So tell the person, listen, tell the person We're going to wash our faces right now.
Wow, it's crazy.
We're going to wash our faces, and we're going to pull on the hair. Tell them to pull at the root and just pull back real hard.
See, this is the stuff we used to do this when we was a kid. You used to be like, don't bring nobody. You talk about, they need to have good hair. They need to have this.
I did train y'all that way. Don't bring no nappy hair woman home. I want some good hair grandkids. I don't want no nappy hair grandkids. Okay, I'm playing.
You used to say that to us all the time.
I know I did. Wasn't I wrong? But y'all still don't bring no nappy hair women home, okay? Just still don't bring no nappy hair women home, okay?
That was a different time, though. That's a different time. This is
you know what? It's okay to have nappy hair now. We the natural thing now, so my message has changed now. It's okay to have.
This is good hair.
It is not nappy. Keisha told me it's not nappy hair. It's not bad hair. No such thing as bad hair. It may be a little kinky, and a comb might break, and it may be hard to comb through, but it's never a nappy hair.
No, but I think that was a different time. This is what?
He said that's why John don't date dark skin. All right, John, did I mess you up? Did I mess you up?
Actually, I do.
Y'all knew what I was talking about.
I love dark skinned women. I love all women. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
I appreciate it. No, but what younger me had a certain criteria back in the day, like middle school and all of that. When you first getting on the scene, because you kind of going with what was pushed as far as what is in style at that time. You know what I mean? Or whatever. When you're young, you're just trying to fit in. But no, I love all of them.
Okay, he always liked the light, bright, and mixed. He dated like one dark-skinned girl. Somebody know your life.
Dated like one light-skinned girl, a dark-skinned girl?
Yeah.
Hey, how you know, Misty? How you know this? What?
Oh, no, he has them darknesses. Joe, where you getting your words from?
Joe knows exactly what's up.
See, Joe got him a pretty wife. He ain't gonna worry about it. He got him a pretty wife. She said she knows, Josh.
She don't know. I don't know. She probably knew a little bit, but not, you know what I mean?
Because I know you.
I didn't see Misty in a long time, so I don't know.
Because I know you were in the club. You were in the club scene, so I know it had been tough in the club scene. All them girls throwing themselves on the stage.
You said throwing themselves on the stage?
Yeah.
Man, it's just, I mean, that comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory.
Yes.
Keisha go, Mom, am I going too far?
We're not going to go down that road. It's not going to end well. So we're going to we're going to stay focused. We're not going to go down that road.
Okay, focus. We're talking about quarantine. Right now, we're on quarantine relationship because when we first started out, we talked about first thing what are we dealing with. I'm doing pretty good because I live a quarantine life anyway. I never go anywhere that much. I'm an introvert, and I love to stand home reading and stuff like that. But only time I'm not introvert is when I'm ministering and things like that because I'm kind of like both. You know, but I prefer it by myself unless I'm with an audience. If I'm with a whole audience, I'm fine. But as far as anything else, I would prefer being by myself. So this quarantine thing is really not, it's not messing me up at all because I really don't go a lot of places anyway. So I'm pretty good with that part. So nothing really has changed for me. It's just that watching other people and getting, inbox and things like that of what they're going through and things like that. It's pulling me into their world. It is doing that. I can see a difference in people. But in even your situation here, I'm knowing you as a DJ and being out all the time and busy. I mean, you're normally busy, moving around or doing something. And to see you in one, because y'all know I don't never call none of my kids, do I? Do I ever call you all? Never. For me to call them,
so
they
think. You want to promote that? That's what you
No, I'm not promoting. I'm just being myself. No, I'm not promoting. I'm not a phone person anyway. I'm really not a phone person. Never been a phone person. If I can't talk to you in person, I really don't want to talk because,
Real talk. Yeah.
Because you can't, to me, you can't get the full everything. Because when I'm talking to people, I want to see their body gestures and all things like that. And I can't do that. But for a person like you, who's always interacting with a lot of people, this got to be, what is it? I mean, I know I wouldn't call you depressed, but do you feel depressed about not being out? I mean, just being real?
I have my days where I'm just kind of like, because I mean, with me, I just be in deep thought. I'm just constantly like, I like to be around people. I like to vibe and just, but yeah, I have my days. Like, it's been a struggle, especially when last week was kind of hard. And, because right now, I'm quarantining myself. I've quarantined myself in here for a week. Because, like I said, I traveled from Dallas and then came here to Tulsa. And I didn't want to get just in case, I just didn't want to get my peoples here, contaminated or anything. So I just want to make all the proper precautions and so I kind of just lock myself in this room for like a week. And then I get dinners and everything served at the door and everything.
Are they really do? Are you really getting your dinner served?
For real.
For real? Wow.
Man, it gave me everything. I had a little, like a laundry basket turned upside down, and you just put all this stuff right there in front of it. Yeah, so
wow.
It's
okay. You really quarantined for real. You're not playing.
So so it felt like I'm trapped in the closet right now. I'm just kind of just sitting here and every day. So that's the thing that's kind of weird. But what I had to do, that's the thing. I had to dig deep, and I think in these situations, it just makes you dig deep. You can either let this thing, because one thing, nothing can be worse than jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to think like that. Like, you know what I mean? I could be in jail, like to where I couldn't just, have no type of communication with nobody. I can not be in here doing music. I couldn't be in here doing whatever I want to do, interacting or whatever. So I got to kind of look at the positive and then just try to figure it out. And but try to figure out the positive and then try to roll with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Try to go from there.
Wow. I mean, because you're usually very busy and usually, doing something, but wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It is. It's all good.
Oh, well.
But we here now, so I think I got until the 14th. I think I'm gonna chill in here until the 14th, and then I think I'll be good. But given that one lady was talking about how she quarantined for 2 weeks and then.
And she got it, but I heard that after 2 weeks, you'll start getting sick. You'll know if you're sick after 2 weeks. But you saying she had it?
No, they say after 5 days.
But they saying if you had it, then and you start feeling better. So how would you know if you won't know if you're okay? You won't know if you're okay in 2 weeks. I mean, you start feeling better.
Well, I'm saying I think I'm good personally. I think I'm good now. I just taking all the extra precautions.
Okay, cool.
Because I don't have, I mean, nothing. I'm not sick or anything. I'm not.
Wow.
Not having nothing. And then when I came out here, I didn't really do anything. I mean, so I did all the precautions. Mm-hmm. It's just.
Yeah.
You never know. But so they talking about. They talking about until May.
Yeah.
So I slightly doubt that we're gonna get out of this in May, though. I slightly doubt that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Josh, this was a good conversation. And I'm happy that I can be a mother that can interview her son, which I use the word interview for conversation. I love the word interview because I love interviewing people. And Josh will keep a conversation going, y'all. I love talking to him because he knows how to. He will talk from his mind, and I believe I know where he got that from. Because we're so much alike in so many areas. We really are. Because I'm not ashamed to talk on any type topic. I'm not ashamed of being real and being honest. And I think we need more shows like this where people are, because a lot of folks are fake. They are so fake, it's ridiculous, and people don't have.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things I appreciate you though. Growing up, you always you never sugarcoat anything with us. Like, you tell us everything straight out.
Yeah.
No matter how excruciating or how terrified it made me in certain situations and all.
Yeah, I believe you did.
It was real.
Oh.
It was real.
I believe it's supposed to be
I appreciate it, Mom.
Amen. Amen. He's my oldest son out of 6 children. My oldest one, Joshie Johnson. Well, if y'all enjoyed this, please give us some Valentine's and some hearts or whatever you might call it. I say Valentine's, I guess, because we on the topic. If you enjoyed this, give us some hearts. And if you want us to keep coming back on with different people talking, please give us some Valentine's.
We're going to keep this going. We try to do it.
Yeah.
We try to do it daily or every other day and just try to do it. Just try to have this, get this going.
Yeah.
So people would know you.
Yeah. I promise those are on my Facebook. I'm going to have a little bit better, but I had to figure out a quick way of doing Facebook real quick. So it may not be looking professional, but hey, I just didn't want us to miss it.
So what's the people on Facebook?
It's a few people. It's not a lot. It's a few people, but not a lot. They probably saw my phone on here and probably said, you know what, this is not a professional thing, so we're going to get off real fast.
Oh, okay.
It might be one of those days.
Well, you just listen to it.
Yeah, because if I had it switched over to my pads over here, they would never known it wasn't on live Facebook because the way I had it with the phone.
Gotcha.
But when I switched it's totally changed. So I got to see what's wrong with my sound. But thank you all for coming on and listening to us. I am Joshua Johnson's mom, and
Thank you for saying my whole name.
Huh?
Thank you for saying my whole name.
Okay, no, what's your whole name? Let's get going with the whole name. Joshua.
No, we're not doing that.
We ain't gonna do that. Okay, I won't say it. Okay, it almost came out. It almost came out. Woo!
Don't do that. Reconsider. Read some literature.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's my mom. So yeah, we're gonna send off, man. Appreciate you, Mom. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Hey y'all on Facebook, I'm fixing to get off. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Joel, I see Joel, you on both platforms. Okay, let me turn it around right now. Joel, you on both of them. Well, I'm getting ready to get off. There's not many people on here right now anyway. But if you enjoyed it, let us know. Comment on the bottom, and I'm gonna have it more professional next time because I had to think of something really quick. I had it fixed first with my iPad on Instagram. It had no sound, but the way I had it, you couldn't even tell if it was live or on the phone or not. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Joel. I don't think nobody else is on, but y'all too. But, did we do good, Keisha? It was so good. All good. We're going to try, we get Josh on the thing. I wish we could get like 2 or 3 people on. You know what? We could do FaceTime, do the same. If I'm going to do it the same way, FaceTime would work on my pad, and I could do the same thing where on the Facebook it's going to look like it's on Facebook. So maybe later on we all get on our FaceTime and we can do the same thing. Because for some reason my pad, the sound wouldn't work. All right, Keisha, I'm fixing to FaceTime you after I hit finish on here. But love everybody. See y'all later. Goodbye.